Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the millstone, and enough respect to the brothers that they're pushing and spreading the gospel of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai to the four corners of the world. Now, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, I just wanted to draw a quick lesson on this video and an article with it, and Lord willing, this be edifying. But before I bring out a preset, let's just watch this short and start from there. Continue from there.
Oh, this is board. This is board. الله أكبر. نزل البرشتي. نزل البرشتي. كان جاب النار ولا أحد يضرب كمان ضرب. محدش يلعب في حاجة مشيله يا عمي.
Okay, so the book of Genesis chapter 4, verse 13, it says, "And Cain said unto the Lord Yahweh, My punishment is greater than I can bear. And behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me," right? Esau is a fugitive and a vagabond. That's why, like a fugitive and a vagabond, they change their identity to escape judgment. They've done a terrible wickedness, and they hope to escape judgment, so they hide themselves. That's why after every, time period, they have to change their name. After every kingdom that they set up, they change their name, right? They change their identity because they don't want to be associated with the seed of the wicked. And so that's Esau, right? And it says, verse 15, "And the Lord Yahweh said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord Yahweh set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him." So this is the position that the Lord has put, Esau in, that while he is serving his sentence, or before he serve out his sentence, which is captivity and then, extermination, while he is in this phase of being a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth, ain't no one was supposed to be messing with him, right? Because the downfall of Esau was Yahweh's blessing, or at least was something that the Lord gave to Israel, right? In the kingdom of the Israelites, because the Lord did give, David and Solomon the blessing of having them in captivity. But that's why I said, like, Israel in particular, right? So if the Lord gives you the ability to put them in captivity, well, then sure. But while this man is in a position, you are not, you are not supposed to mess with him, because when you kill him, he comes back and he takes vengeance on you sevenfold, right? That's what he's done to all the nations. That's why he even did it to Israel. And so we're seeing, we see that blessing, continuing from Cain, because here we have a man named Lamech, right? So it says, "And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord Yahweh and dwelt in the land of Nod, on east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife and conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Arad, and Arad begat Mahujael, and Mahujael begat Methusael, and Methusael begat Lamech. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of the one was Adah, and the name of the other was Zillah. And Adah bare Jubal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal, and he was the father for Salakia. Let me jump to the point. Yeah. So we have the grandson of Cain. So Genesis 4:23 says, And Lamech said unto his wife Adah and Zillah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, and hearken unto my speech. For I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. Let's look at that in a different translation. Yep, there's this NIV, man. Always on point. It says, Lamech said unto his wives, Adah and Zillah, Listen to me, wives of Lamech, and hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me. Okay? And what was his reason? If Cain shall be avenged 7-fold, truly Lamech 70 and 7-fold. So they are carrying on the blessing, or at least they carrying on. It's I don't know if it's a blessing or not, right? Similar to when we say that Esau's blessing is a sword, right? You look at it from a different perspective. It's not really a blessing; it's a curse, because Yahushua said, "He that liveth by the sword dies by the sword." So the Lord has him in a trick bag, and so we see this carrying down from Cain onto his descendants, and Lamech even acknowledges that, like his father, if you do something to him, he will avenge you, and he even go far beyond what his blessing is, which is 70 and 7-fold. That's why when you always read the article about the atrocities that are being committed in Gaza, it always references the October 7th attack, right? And in retaliation, they've killed more than 10 times, right, the people that they lost in that attack. And not only that, they are seeking to seize the entire territory. Okay? And this is beautiful. That's why the scripture says that the least of the flock shall draw them out, because they have this natural urge, right? They have this natural disposition to just go out and start wreaking havoc. And so it brought my attention to a video that I made a while back, which is what the United Arab Emirates warned the White House that Israeli annexations of the Gaza Strip could unravel Abraham Accords. And this Accords was to prevent Amalek from what? From increasing in size, from grafting in more territories onto itself. But right now they have what? They have abandoned those accords. And so they are stirring up the Islamic nations around them, right? Not just that alone, but also from all the times that they have invaded, they have used the American military to invade these countries and bomb them and destabilize them. But this is what's going on, right? And through this, what happens? The book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, where you go into the 29th verse, an horrible vision with the dragons of Arabia coming in and joining in with the Carmanians, and you can loop that back into the Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, where the Carmanians are what? The Carmanians are the Persians who are going to join forces with Gog and Magog, who are going to come up against Babylon. And it's just a domino effect going on. But it all begins with Amalek, right? The so-called Israelis. And this is why we say that the scriptures supersede anything that anybody can ever say, because it describes Esau, better than, so perfectly, This is truly Esau. This is truly Cain. Vengeance 7-fold, right? 70 and 7-fold. And that's what the Lord mean when he said, anyone who should kill Cain, vengeance shall be taken upon him 7-fold, because he was going to give him the power. And when he comes into power, he remembers all those that put him right through hell, and he comes back and he judges you 7-fold. Right? We see what he did to Jake. We see what he did to these other nations as well. You do something a little bit, he comes in with full force, full might, and he just pulverizes you. So so they give a warning, right? They gave warnings like a few hours into. Did they give a few? Yeah, the strike came just hours after the Israeli army urged Gaza City residents to leave for a humanitarian zone in the south. Um, says the United Nations estimates that there are about 1 million people in and around Gaza City and has warned of a coming disaster if the Israeli military goes ahead with its plans to seize the city. It says dozens of Palestinians interviewed by the AFP in Gaza City in recent weeks have said there is no safe place in the territory, with many saying they would rather die than be displaced again. Some say we should evacuate, and others say we should stay, right? But everywhere in Gaza, there are bombings and deaths. He added, pointing in particular to the strikes on Al Mawasi, because this is an area they told him to evacuate to, and then they bombed him. All right, so it no longer makes any difference to us, right? Yeah, because at this point they're like, yo, I might as well die, resting, right, rather than trekking miles, being tired, hungry, and thirsty, and then I get bombed, right? I might as well just stay my ass where I'm at. And so, yeah, that was it on that. This was meant to be a very short video. It's a very interesting article, though, but I'm going to end it here. In closing, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Recha Kodash, and Tawari Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, for revealing your secrets and wisdom and knowledge and granting us the understanding, right? And may the blessing of Leshi be upon the house. And we ask, that you protect us, right, in these coming times, and you make us strong, and you may give us the ability to overcome and be embraced in your arm in a short while. So, Shalom, Yahweh, Shemeshah, Brakatham, to all your Akims and Akwifs that are listening in truth and in sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon the house. Until next time, Shalom.